what's up? It is Thursday. I just wanted to come on because, I don't know, I'm feeling some sort of way with like my life's direction. Everything's really uncertain. Just kind of the direction that it's going in the next like year or two. I need to really want to be married and I want to have kids. And so my life can look completely different, and I'm hoping it looks a lot different in a positive way within the next like couple months here. But it would be nice just to have that stability right now, and then, you know, wherever my life takes me, go on from there. And I also talked a little bit about like starting my own business and how that's going, and I will give you guys some behind the scenes stuff like that. I had a very contentious meeting with my financial advisor, and we spent most of the time kind of like talking about my business, and I just, you know, she was really questioning me on a lot of fronts, and I'm like, you know, and I, for my own good, just trying to get clarity about like what are the things that I need to do to launch by April, and how am I going to market that, how am I going to get people enrolled in my programs. And you know, she's absolutely right, but I just wasn't like, I just was not in the mood to have to defend myself. So I will walk you guys through some of that, like some of the things that are on board. I can also, I think maybe a sneak peek at my new website layout. That is looking pretty good. And then also some of the behind the scenes stuff that I'm doing forward to like getting my groups together. I really love like fitness. So if anybody has any fitness goals that they need help with and making changes, since I have had plenty of experience with, you know, goal setting and losing weight, and, you know, kind of going through that struggle and really just kind of figuring out like what works for me. If you have like any suggestions on how I can make my YouTube channel or content that you guys want to see, like let me know, and leave a comment. If you guys want more fitness, I can give you that easy. If you guys want just more like videos like this, that's great. I know you guys like the dating stuff, so I'm going to do more on that. I will give you a quick update with dating. So I'm still talking to the guy from Washington. We ended up talking for, I think, almost like over an hour yesterday. And it's, yeah, we had a really good conversation yesterday, and just continual like text messages and stuff. So I think last week we may have talked twice, I can't remember. But I am just, I don't know, I'm just really enjoying our conversations, and we kind of, like, I think we talked about potentially like going on a date, but we really haven't talked about like in full detail. So one of the suggestions was for us to do a virtual date, and so I just told him like, hey, you have to plan that. But I actually have some fun ideas that I was like, okay, well, if we do like get to our second virtual date, then this is what I want to do. So I thought we could do like a game night, and we could just find like a common game that we can play against each other. So like we could do like, I don't know how to play chess, but we could do like Scrabble or something online. There's like millions of games. And then I also thought like we can also like have like a theme night, or like, you know, cook at the same time, or just do something that like we could do together even though we're not in the same place. Eventually we'll hopefully get to the point where we want to meet each other. That would be nice, and see what happens. But yeah, right now I think he's, from what I know, he sounds like a good guy, and he sends me nature photos, which I request often from his area because it's so pretty. And yeah, that's about it. All right, what's up? So I'm finishing up the rest of my video, just trying not to get hit as I'm driving across the street. But this is my fitness check-in, and I did my fitness quarterly check-in, and it did not go well today. So I did not hit my goal. I'm 5 pounds heavier than I was last time, and I have no one to blame but myself. Like, really, it's the only person I can blame for me not hitting my goal is myself. So we're gonna try again tomorrow, but I honestly can only blame myself for eating poorly and going on like a cookie rampage over the past, like in sugar rampage the past like month, and then I'm trying to correct that with like 2 weeks. So it wasn't like the best game plan, but I don't know, I need to stop making excuses. But I knew I was heavier, I looked heavier, I felt a little bit heavier, and yes, it's only 5 pounds, but for someone that's like me and my body type, it makes a big difference. So my plan is for today is just to drink a lot of water and try again tomorrow, and just see. One of the things, like all my readings were up, The only thing that was down was my water intake, and I'm sure I'm still gonna like come in probably higher than I should, but it might look better tomorrow. But yeah, I'm pretty upset with myself, and I honestly have been taking way too long to get this last like 40 pounds off. I've been working on all of this for more than 2 years to try to lose weight, and I got on a really good roll, just not having sugar and not drinking, and I went off of that plan, and here I am again. I went back to the way I was eating before, and eating, like I mentioned, cookies and all sorts of other sweet treats. That's like my weakness, and I can't outwork a bad diet. It's just the way it is, and I just have to like accept that. So I'm pretty upset with myself, and I am just gonna go back on the way I was eating before, which is basically nothing fun, no processed foods, no dairy, no sugar, no gluten, and see what happens. But I really can't afford to have on this extra weight. And then I'm also thinking about like life. And the last time I went to my doctors, I said I'm not in like a relationship right now, but I'm 40 and I have to think about fertility, and I would like to have a family, and I don't want it to be too late. And one of the things that she said was, at that time, which I would still hold true, was she says, I don't recommend that you get pregnant within the next year, because where you're at right now is very high risk. And she said where your weight's at, and if you put on weight when you're pregnant, she goes, pretty well guaranteed you're going to go into gestational diabetes. And she had all of these risk factors. And so she said, she goes, I would recommend that you get your weight down. She said, I think she said, if you can get it down to like 140, then she's like, I feel like that would be a little bit better. She goes, but if you can get down below that, she's like, I feel like it would be safer for you. So I listened, and I listened for a while, and then I went back on my eating rampage. So I know in a couple months I have labs that have to be done, and I know that it's going to be a big spike in my sugar because I went on a rampage. And the reason why was honestly because I was feeling really upset and really sad about things not working out in life, and just being frustrated with a bunch of stuff. So I am just coming clean that that's where my mind's at, and I'm frustrated. And honestly, I was trying to take shortcuts to try to make my goal, and I really screwed up, especially like the past 2 months, January and February, with, going to Starbucks like every day and getting something sweet. I always know that's a bad idea, and I just convinced myself that it was going to work this time. So anyways, I did a walk of shame today, and so we'll see tomorrow. We'll see if anything reads different. I doubt it. And so before I even stepped on the scale, and I said I don't feel confident like I have been the past couple of weigh-ins, because I wasn't eating sugar, and it was just like all my readings were great, and everything's up, my weight's up, my body fat's up, and it may not seem like a big deal, but for me it is. It's a really big deal, because it's just taken me so long, and I really need to just get the extra weight off. And I finally got down to a certain level that I haven't been in more than like 3 years. And I felt really good about that. And that only lasted like a day or two. And then I started eating poorly, and my weight's back on. So I know like no one's perfect. But I know this, like I've done this so many times over and over again, that it's kind of like, when are you going to like just do it and wake up? Right? Like, anyways, yeah, it's frustrating. So I'll be doing a longer walk today. I did yoga this afternoon, and tomorrow hopefully we'll have a really hard workout, and I got Pilates on Saturday. So I just need to get my eating under control. If I could, and I always say this, if I could suggest to anybody that you really cannot cheat a diet. I love watching 600 Pound Life. That's the name of the show on TLC. It's been on for years. And I was watching an episode last night, and I love that show because of the stories of like how people, like their lives and what triggers someone to start gaining that much weight. And there's always a reason why. There's always like some psychological reason why. So I really like watching that show because it's kind of like, you know, I think a lot of people would be super judgy about it, but it's like, yeah, everybody has that. But they may not react in the same way. Like they might drink instead of like eating, or they might over exercise or under exercise, or just be depressed. And some people lose a lot of weight when they're depressed. So I really enjoy a good story. And so the shows are like an hour or 2 hours long of a story that's really like, you're really getting into someone's life. So anyways, I was watching that, and there was these brothers, and one of the brothers, he was like the heaviest, and he was really focused, and he was hitting all his goals. And then his younger brother was not quite like serious about it. And so he was so worried about his bigger brother, like getting healthy, that he wasn't making the steps and changes in his life. And he just kept hitting his goals. And eventually Dr. Nell was kicked him out of his whole program. So, you know, it kind of makes sense because he was like a tow truck driver. And so he would get fast food a lot. And he's like, I don't know why I can't hit my goal. And of course you're like, duh, right? Like you're eating fast food. Of course not. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I do the same thing. I'm like, I don't know why I'm not losing weight, even though I just had like a bunch of French fries, or I ate a bunch of carbs, right? So it's just kind of like a reminder that no, you have to eat well all the time. One of the things that really pissed me off during last night's episode of 600 Pound Life is that the family just kept eating poorly. They were eating like enchiladas and tamales and all this stuff. And like the poor dads who were trying to lose weight were trying to eat like a 1,200 calorie diet. And I just cannot imagine being married to someone who's like losing weight and it's like life or death, and not like trying to cook healthy meals to help them. Like they were like, oh, well, we don't need to lose weight, so why should we eat this stuff, right? I mean, I just think, to me, I'm like, it's almost like wanting that person to fail. So anyways, that was kind of my whole moment watching that. I was like, oh yeah, I so identify with like kind of being in a denial about like food. And like, you know, for so many people, I've been told this for so long, it's absolutely true, I can't deny it, is that you cannot outwork a diet. You can work out as hard as you want, but if you eat like crap, like it doesn't work. And the same with like Pilates. I'm doing Pilates, which is great. I'm gonna get stronger, but if I have a layer of fat, my body won't be able to like, I won't be able to show my abs. So right now, as of today, I am 31% body fat. I was down to, I think I was down to either like 30.1%, or I was down to like 29 last time. So, I mean, it was a huge jump. So I'm hoping that if I can get back on schedule and I can kind of move forward and not be upset with myself and get my results down and keep tracking losing weight every week. But it's been a mess. I've created a mess. So why is this guy parked next to me? Like, really? Look at this. Look at this crap. So I park over here for a particular purpose and reason. And I specifically don't park next to anybody. But this gal is like parked next to me for no reason. And I don't understand it. So anyway, I have a feeling like she's going to ask me like a question. But I'm going to prepare myself. But it makes no sense why she's over here right now. Oh no, she just parked next to me and got out and walked away. It's just super rude. Don't get it. I specifically park over here in like an empty parking lot to not be around people, because I really don't like people that much. And I use this time to just be alone. I don't want to be around anyone. I don't want to talk to anybody. And I just want time to like work on my stuff, reflect, and then go for my walk and go home. So anyways, that's the life and moment I'm having. I'm not too proud of myself right now, and I have to start over from scratch, which sucks, but back to the old grind.